Hello, I'm Rixie, and welcome to 3 Secrets to Heal the Earth. I'm super excited that you've shown up today. Love being able to teach healers, new healers from around the world, from different cultures, races, and spiritual backgrounds with all this new technology we have where we can reach everyone. So congratulations for stepping up and being an earth healer. So we need all of us to come together as one human family to assist the earth in its next evolutionary shift, and also to help with all the pollution that's going on, oil spills, and then you have Fukushima. Crazy. I don't know about you, but it can get pretty overwhelming. Now we can volunteer to pick up trash, protest, or picket. But what if I told you there was something even more powerful? How would you like to join the ranks of powerful earth shift healers, light workers, and shamans? I promise by the end of this course that you will know how to heal the earth without having to chain yourself to a tree. My goal is that if you stay until the very end, you're going to get something really cool. You'll receive my step-by-step cheat sheet for healing streams, rivers, lands, and mountains. Pretty awesome, huh? Please silence your phones and any other distractions so you don't miss anything. Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm Rixie Renee. My angels and guides call me Rixie. It means warrior communicator, and my mom named me Renee. I started my earth healing journey when I had a really tough time in my life. I had lost my job. I was a single mom of 2 kids. And I had bought a house, a fixer-upper house like this one, and I just asked God, if life is just about struggle, and if I can't make a big difference in the world, then just take me home. I wasn't suicidal or anything. I just wanted to have a bigger purpose. Have you ever felt that way? And that's when a friend of mine called me out of the blue and said that she felt inspired to give me an intuitive reading. And in that reading, she was told to tell me that I was a shaman. I didn't even know what that meant. So I had to go Google it. And what I learned was that it meant a person who connects to other dimensions, nature and the divine, and all creation to bring information useful for healing and guidance for the community or people they serve. And they're usually indigenous, so that's really cool and all, but I'm white, blonde, and a single mom. I was totally clueless as to why I'd be considered a shaman. And then about a week later, I met my dear friend and earth healer mission partner, James Torgerson, also known as Torg. We started working together to tune into other dimensions, and I was trying to connect to my ancestors. And then something really extraordinary happened. We got the words, "Save the earth and save the people." And when we asked who was talking, she said her name was Gaia. Now, I didn't know what Gaia meant at the time, so again, I had to go to the internet and Google it to find out it meant Mother Earth. And then I thought, how could little old me, single mom and all, and Torg, save the earth? She then told Torg and I she would teach us exactly how to do it. I soon learned that all things in nature have an intelligence and a spirit, literally. The intelligence and spirits of earth, fire, water, and air started tuning in and communicating with us. And rivers, streams, mountains, and trees, we started learning how to communicate with them and how to heal them, and got to know them on a personal level. We started working with shamans and medicine men and women from different tribes around the world, like Arapaho, Mayan, Sioux, Hopi, Peruvian, Kahunas from Hawaii. I was inspired by various natives who came to visit me that I should build a sweat lodge in my backyard. And we've had different tribes from all over come and utilize it, like Shoshone, Arapaho, Ute, Dene, Sioux. It's been such a blessing. Then Spirit called me to start running these sweat lodges on my own. And a Nez Perce medicine man blessed me, gave me permission, and taught me how to run a sweat lodge, which I've been doing for 14 years now. It's been a powerful tool for healing the earth and the people that go into the lodges, and to connect to spirit more clearly. We were then asked by Gaia and the divine to teach more shamans, that the earth needs more shamans to help with the earth shift that's happening right now. And the reason is that there will be less natural disasters like earthquakes, tsunamis, tornadoes, and hurricanes, so we transition more smoothly. Wouldn't you rather have less intense earthquakes and tsunamis? You'll be able to help make that happen once you learn the 3 secrets I'm about to teach you. So to teach more shamans, we created Shamanism 101. We taught in groups of 10, and we would take them on field trips to ancient power centers. Teaching groups of 10 was great and all, but I knew we needed to train a lot more shamans. And that's why I'm launching Shamanism 101 online, so that I can reach shamans and healers from around the world so that they can be activated in every part of the planet. Can you imagine having earth healer shamans all around the world healing rivers, oceans, deserts, lakes? And what if you were the local earth healer shaman in your little corner of the planet? Wouldn't that be so cool? Also, students that enroll in the Shamanism 101 course online right now in the beginning get to be leaders and get to also help with the creation of the course. Exciting, huh? Torg and I were called to specific places around the planet to do ceremony for healing at Mesa Verde in Colorado, as well as Pele in Hawaii and Uluru in Australia. He passed away, unfortunately, in 2013, and I have continued our work through teaching shamanism to students and traveling to more sacred sites around the world. Gaia has called me to do specific ceremonies at Dome of the Rock, the Pantheon in Greece, Giza, Machu Picchu in Peru, and many, many more to come. And a lot of times I bring my students with me, and maybe it'll be you someday. Wouldn't that be awesome? I've authored 2 books. One, To Dance with the Elementals, about my experience with healing the earth and the elements, and the other, Talks with My Heavenly Mother, my communications with the Divine Feminine, Mother God, whatever you want to call her. So that's my story of learning about shamanism. Now, I discovered this through 14 years of training, and you get to cheat and learn a lot of it in just a few minutes. That's pretty cool, huh? Now, you can learn these secrets the hard way with hours and hours of meditation and training, or you can do it the easy way and start your earth healing shamanic path right away. Wouldn't that be so fulfilling? In the past, I've healed lakes, rivers, and mountains, and I didn't have to chain myself to a tree. Now, results aren't typical. You may not see it right away or with your naked eye. You will most likely experience the results energetically. Okay, are you ready for the 3 secrets to heal the earth? Secret number 1. When Gaia asked me to save the earth and save the people, I asked her, how can I heal you? And she said something so easy and simple. Sing and dance. Really? That's it? Sing and dance? That's pretty easy, right? And then I started thinking about all the indigenous tribes around the world and how they sing and dance and pray. It started to make a lot of sense. After all, they are the earth keepers, right? I know Kachina dancers in Hopi land dance to make sure there's enough rain for their corn crop every year. So she told me that she becomes energized and she can heal herself when we are praying, singing, and dancing. I don't know about you, but I think that's really amazing. It's also interesting that scientists have found that sound vibrations can heal people. Dr. Emoto has done a lot of research on that. To share a personal experience with you, once I was called to heal a little creek. I decided to sing this cute little kid song I learned when I was little. And she tuned in later and said, "You healed me." I asked her what it was that healed her, and she said, "The Little River Song." I also teach these songs in my Shamanism 101 course. Another really cool story about healing the earth is Lake Baikal. We were asked to do a sweat lodge and sing songs at a particular time, and that the Lake Baikal really needed our help. I did research on it and found out that there were a lot of paper mills that were sending poison into the lake. There are lots of trees around there, and they make paper and they throw all their waste into the lake. And because of that, the algae in the lake was dying. We also heard that there were lots of shamans around the world that were being called to do ceremony and sing songs all at the exact same time that we were, including the local medicine men from the tribes there that are called shamans, which is actually where the word shaman comes from, Siberian medicine men. Our songs and prayers gave the earth energy to start healing itself and for the algae to start growing back. And the lake became clear and clean again, and the spirit of the lake became so strong that the owners of the paper mills started feeling really uncomfortable and ended up leaving. And dancing is very powerful for the healing of the earth. When indigenous people dance, it's like a special rhythm, like a heartbeat. She says it feels like getting a massage. There's also something even more magical about it that I haven't quite put my finger on yet. Like when I went to the Hopi Reservation and watched the Kachinas dance, you could feel this unexplainable power. And they suggest that no one touches the Kachinas because their power is so strong. So when we dance and sing with our hearts wide open and our shields down, something really extraordinary happens. So secret number 1 is singing and dancing. Pretty easy, huh? And if you think you can't dance, just sing and dance like nobody's watching. Because at the end of the day, it's the intention that matters. You can also just learn to sing. I did. I was terrible in the beginning, and now I can carry a tune. Okay, so going on to secret number 2. Okay, I'd like to start with a little story about a place in Marysville, this huge, beautiful outcropping. When I first heard about that we could heal the earth, I remembered this one rock cropping, and I tuned in and asked, okay, so what's going on with this rock? I could feel all this energy coming from it, and I knew something was going on. The earth friends told me that, yes, it was angry. It was angry because people and kids would come up and just shoot things for no reason, for fun, for target practice. His friends, like squirrels, rabbits, deer, you name it. Also, there are a lot of four-wheelers that drive by, and he doesn't like the exhaust. He doesn't like them playing on the mountain. Also, there are mines there, lots of ruby, gold, all kinds of mines that are in that mountain, and so there are a lot of poison strychnine in the mountain. Now, they don't mind if there is a good reason for doing these things. Like if we need to eat something and we kill a deer because we need to eat, that's fine. I asked Mother Earth what I could do to heal this rock, and she suggested I give him a medicine wheel. So Torg made this medicine wheel. I teach more about medicine wheels in my Shamanism 101 class. They're very magical and healing. So here I am in front of this huge outcropping, and I'm like, what do? I just start talking to it. So I look around to make sure nobody's watching me. And since this was my first healing of a rock, I felt really weird and didn't want anybody around to see it. Basically, I buried the medicine wheel at the base of the rock under a tree, and I just started saying things like, wow, I'm really sorry that humans have done some really bad things to you. I understand that you're really hurt. And please forgive those of us who are still learning. And just know that there are other humans that are trying to make a difference. We're cleaning up the planet. We're making stricter rules about four-wheelers going off the trails and ripping up the land. And we're just so grateful that we have trails so we can see how beautiful you are. There are also local stories of people going up into the mountains and being healed. And one man in particular said that his alcoholism was healed by the mountain. So I thanked him for that, for healing us and being so beautiful and all that he does for us. I told him that we loved him and that we would love for him to come and tune in to Torg and I when we speak with the other elements of the planet. So when I got home and we tuned in, he said, "You healed me." And he told me his name was Slick. That made me feel so good. Because he forgave us, his energy shifted and he became this beautiful light. And others who were sensitive to his energy would come by and bring gifts and leave these little trinkets for him as a thank you. We were just so excited to see this shift in the earth and in that area of the planet. Wouldn't you love to heal the mountain or forest in the area that you live in? So, secret number 2 is apologize and show gratitude. Now on to secret number 3. The earth has ley lines and power centers, very similar to how the human body has meridians. If you've heard of meridians and chakras, they're energy lines and power centers in the body. And you can connect to them from the feet. The earth also has power centers and meridian type lines that people call ley lines that connect to the whole entire earth. For instance, in Europe, you'll see places where churches and temples, spiritual centers are all right next to each other in a line. And that's because they are following the ley line system. Leaders will be guided to build their churches on these ley line systems. And the reason why is that the earth needs those songs and the dancing and the prayers in order to energize it. It is like food for Gaia. These power centers and ley line systems are also a really strong connection to heaven and earth. And when you meditate there, you have a really strong connection to God, universe, or whatever your spiritual power is to you, and to the earth at the same time. It's like tuning into a radio station with a very, very clear connection. A few examples of some of these power centers would be the pyramids of Giza and Machu Picchu, Stonehenge. Our early ancestors were very much aware of these power centers, and many of us have forgotten, except for the indigenous people, of course. The earth looks for energy similar to how the roots of a tree look for water for its nourishment. It sends out energy roots, so to speak, looking for singing, dancing, praying, anything joyful and positive. It's like food for Gaia's soul, so that she can grow more life, like the food that we eat, as well as having the strength to combat all of the pollution and junk that we put into the earth and the atmosphere. So what this means is that we can create our own energy centers and power centers. And what if we created them in our own homes? Wouldn't you love it if your home could be this amazing source of energy that's connected to the earth grid and sending all this love, high vibration all over the planet? Wouldn't that feel good? So secret number 3, ley lines and power centers, where energy can travel around the planet to energize and heal her, and that we can create power centers in our own homes. The 3 secrets to heal the earth. Secret number 1, singing and dancing. Secret number 2, apologize and show gratitude. And secret number 3, ley lines and power centers. Cool, so you're already beginner shamans ready to go out and heal the earth in your corner of the planet. Or travel to power centers, or even when you're at church, or even just out in nature. Just think about how your prayers, your singing, and your dancing is traveling around the planet. And she is soaking it up. Now I've shown you these 3 simple yet very powerful techniques, but what if I were to tell you that there is so much more, that this is just the very tip of a huge iceberg? Let me ask you a question. All this stuff we just learned is pretty exciting, right? I don't know about you, but I've had a lot of fun these last 20 minutes. It's always exciting to add one more Earth Healer to our Rockin' Earth Healer team. Can you just imagine being on a powerful shamanic healer team that not only could heal the earth, but could heal humanity? You could heal your friends, your family, the people around you, and most of all, yourself. Because not only did Gaia ask me to save the earth and save the people, she's also talking to you. Just the fact that you took this mini course shows that you are one of Gaia's healers. What would that do for your sense of purpose in life? Cool, right? Let me ask you, as your teacher, your coach, how can I serve you? How can I actually help you implement this? How would you like to work with me directly and I can actually help you implement what we just talked about and a whole lot more? How would you like to be guided to the next level of your shamanic lightworker healer path? If I had a way for you to learn more of what you've been learning today, would you be interested? For those of you who said yes, I put together a little package for you. It's my online Shamanism 101 course with a few extra goodies. It's a way to implement what you've already learned today and get support for the next step of your shamanic, lightworker, healer path. Exciting, huh? Now, I just want to make sure I have your permission to show you this stuff. Is it okay if I just take a few minutes and share with you what's in Shamanism 101? If you're one of those people saying, yes, this is what you get. Number one, you will learn how to go on a shamanic journey to receive guidance. Now, I told you that shamans go to other dimensions, they go into trances, and they see the unseen world. You'll meet your power animal and other animal spirit guides. You could meet your ancestors and other spirit messengers. My favorite part of shamanic journeying is when people get to see and learn from master teachers like Gandhi, Jesus, Archangel Michael. It is so, so cool. There's also something called soul retrieval. Sometimes when we go through traumas, our souls just can't handle it, so they split off and they go to different dimensions. So you can actually call those pieces back and let them know that it's safe now and they can be a part of you again. So here's an example of a personal experience I had with receiving messages by tuning into these other dimensions. I was meditating in my local park. I had gotten bronchial pneumonia when I was little, and I was continuing to have it every spring and fall. And I was so frustrated. And I got the words lemongrass and marjoram. I wasn't even asking about my bronchitis, but when I got home and I looked it up, these two were for bronchitis and arthritis, which are both what I had at the time. So these are the things and more that you will learn when you go on your shamanic journeys. Our primitive ancestors relied on the shamans to go find the medicines when they were sick. When the whole tribes were sick, the shaman would go out and find in the forests and in nature what they needed to heal the whole tribe. My student Karel writes, I loved the drumming during the shamanic journey where we were put into a trance and I was able to see visions for the first time and meet my ancestors. The Shamanism 101 course is magical and out of this world. You will have an awakening, mystical experience to help you ascend and connect with the divine as you walk the shaman path, and you will never be the same. You will love it. Look, guys, I'm nothing special. I am imperfect. I make mistakes, and I'm definitely not a saint. I'm just like you, doing the best I can. Like I told you, I was a depressed single mom who lost her job and had a major fixer-upper home with a leaky roof when I got started. All I did was pray for a purpose, to make a big difference in the world. I never dreamed of leaving the North American continent, let alone go to Egypt, Greece, Machu Picchu, or even Hawaii. But because I asked for guidance, had the faith, listened and did what Spirit asked, my life has become a magical, crazy adventure. Now, our spiritual paths and magical adventures might not look exactly the same, but every day can be magical when you are following your calling and listening to the Creator. Now, it hasn't all been roses, believe me, but I wouldn't change it for anything. Have you been asking the Creator, God, or universe what your calling on this planet is? Do you feel you are being called to be a healer, a light worker, or walk a shamanic path? Now, you can do it the hard way and figure it out yourself, which can be awesome too, or you can get the support of a mentor and a community of healers that are on the same path. Again, I'm just a normal person just like you who answered the call, and if I can do it, I promise you can do it. Now, the second thing you'll learn is how to protect yourself and home from negative energy and entities. Now, there are different ways that negative energies can be around us. One is our own thought processes are creating the negative energy, and being in an environment with others that are negative. We also need spiritual protection. There are negative entities out there that want to bring us down. When you start shining your light brighter, they notice and they're like, no way, we're not going to let this light warrior shine her light or his light. We are going to squash that. It might show up as feeling depressed or this heavy pressure on your chest or thought processes about yourself that you would never ever think of. Would you like to learn how to get these spirits to flee from you and to guard yourself so they never come back, or shield yourself from them in the first place? You can protect your home, your car. And one of my favorite things you'll learn is how to do a house blessing. Wouldn't it feel good to feel safe and have that peace of mind? In fact, my recent student, Katie, has really rocked it out of the park on this. She has been doing all kinds of house blessings. She writes, "Rixie's shamanism class was so interesting. I absolutely loved learning the specifics of what shamans do and then feeling confident to use what I learned. So far, I've smudged 3 homes, and each experience has been very powerful and spiritual and tailored to each individual family. It makes me want to learn more." Katie Newbold. Wow, that just makes my day. So the third thing that you will learn is how to make a shaman kit and bundle. I'll show you how to make your own shamanic toolkit, which will include instruments like a drum and a rattle, as well as songs. I'll give you my whole list of songs that I use in my ceremonies. I'll also give you a list of all the herbs I use and their spiritual properties. And you'll learn to make a medicine wheel. Pretty cool, huh? You can invest today in developing your spiritual gifts and becoming a healer, light worker, shaman, or go back to doing what you're already doing. I don't know about you, but I'd rather spend my time becoming a powerful world changer. The fourth thing you'll learn is how to tune into your third eye to see messages. Now, the third eye or pineal gland kind of works like a television screen. You tune in and you'll see images. For instance, a friend of mine whose grandmother passed away recently asked if I saw any messages from her grandmother, and I tuned in and saw pink butterflies, and she about freaked out because they had planned ahead of time that when her grandmother was around she'd send pink butterflies. Pretty cool, huh? It's also fun to tune into my third eye when I'm giving gifts. For instance, my friend Andrea had a birthday, and I tuned in to see what I should bring her, and I got pink roses. And I just went with it and showed up at the restaurant, and look at what she was wearing. A fabulous birthday dress with pink ribbon roses on the bodice. Wouldn't it be awesome to always give the perfect gift? One of my Shamanism 101 students, Brenda Robinson, writes, "Rixie has taught me how to develop my spiritual gifts of vision, tap into my healing powers, become more centered, develop my intuition, and to trust the messages I receive. She turned my spiritual journey into a fun-filled, magical adventure." Wouldn't it be so exciting to develop your spiritual gifts of vision and actually trust the messages that you receive? Number 5, tools for communicating with nature and the spirit world. I'll teach you my secrets for communicating with rivers, streams, oceans, mountains, trees, earth, fire, water, and air. Wouldn't that be awesome to connect to your local nature spirits? Now, there are those people who you want on your team and those people who you don't want on your team. There are 2 kinds of people who take this mini course. One is the person who just doesn't want to take action. They're lazy, they're fearful, they don't believe in themselves, they just want to be here for the fun of it, or they're just bored. I don't know about you, but I don't really like working with those kinds of people. Now, people like us who get on the course, they hear it, they understand it, they step up and want to be a healer and a world changer. They're willing to take action. And boom, they create results and make things happen. So I want to ask you, what are you? Are you the one that sits and watches, or are you the warrior that takes action? If you're ready to take massive action in your life and learn some new cool stuff, if you're ready to be a healer, light worker, shaman, warrior, this is what you're going to do. I'll show you how to sign up in just a minute. The 6th thing you'll learn about is ceremonies. Now, remember I told you that Torg and I were given specific ceremonies to do at sacred leyline power centers around the world, and that I've continued to do them after he passed away? How would you like to do those exact ceremonies that we were given by Gaia and Spirit, and to perform in your own local area or travel to sacred sites. Wouldn't that be so awesome? Number 7, you'll receive recorded songs I use for my ceremonies. You'll also learn traditional Native American ceremonies taught by a real traditional medicine man. Exciting, huh? You'll learn about the sweat lodge, medicine wheel, and pipe ceremonies, as well as the vision quest. You'll also learn the native words for these ceremonies, like Inipi, Hamblecha, and Shanupa. We're also creating a retreat where you can experience all these ceremonies at one event, which will be available to you, to those who finish this course. Pretty cool, huh? I don't know about you, but I have a deep feeling of gratitude for our Indigenous brothers and sisters who have continued to take care of the earth and stay connected to her and nature. They have held the earth in balance while the rest of us have poisoned her. Who knows where we would be if they hadn't continued their love for the earth with their prayers, dances, and their songs. Unfortunately, they are in great need. Their culture has been decimated, and alcoholism and poverty keep many of them from being the amazing, powerful people they were meant to be. I have traveled to indigenous villages all over the planet, from here in North America to South America and the outback of Australia, where I have witnessed the same devastation. I first noticed this epidemic when I was in 5th grade and my family lived in Holbrook, Arizona. On my way to the 7-Eleven through the alley, I would have to step over unconscious drunk natives. I wanted to do something about it then as a 10-year-old, and now I've come up with a way. 10% of your class tuition will go to fighting Native Indigenous alcoholism, and the rest will all go straight back to healing the planet. So not only will you benefit from learning these techniques, you'll be helping our Indigenous brothers and sisters as well as the whole planet. Doesn't that make you feel good? So, number 8, you'll get the satisfaction that you get to help with Indigenous alcoholism. And number 9, the rest of your tuition will go right back to this program to heal the earth. Then number 10, when you finish this course, you get a certificate. You'll be able to hang it on your wall, in your office. It will remind you that you are part of a very sacred mission. Now, all of us have disposable income, and a portion of it goes to buying a brand new pair of shoes, going out to dinner at a nice restaurant, having that high-end cafe latte. I'm not going to ask you to go into debt for this at all. What I'm trying to ask you to do, instead of blowing it all on expensive dinners and lattes, so things that will fade away and you'll lose, I'm asking you to make an investment in yourself. Wouldn't it be more fulfilling to be a part of something bigger than yourself, where your life could become a spiritual, magical adventure? Would you be willing to give up those name brand shoes or eat out a few less times a month in order to be a powerful world changer? Also, students that enroll in the Shamanism 101 course online right now in the beginning get to be leaders and get to also help with the creation of the course. Exciting, huh? So let's recap everything you're going to learn. Number 1, you'll learn how to go on shamanic journeys to receive guidance. Number 2, to protect yourself and home from negative energy and negative entities. 3, you'll put together a shaman kit bundle. 4, tune into your third eye and see messages. Number 5, tools for communicating with nature and the spirit world. Number 6, you'll learn ceremonies. Number 7, songs I use for my ceremonies. And number 8, 10% will go to help with Indigenous alcoholism. Number 9, 90% will go back to heal the earth. Number 10, you'll receive a certificate. And bonus number 1, guest teachers, unlimited access to future teachings. Now, I told you that I travel around the world and I meet up with different shamans, medicine men, kahunas, medicine women. And from now on, I'm going to start videotaping the teaching that I receive and add them to the course. And students will always have access to future videos. Pretty cool, huh? A former student, Rebecca, writes, Rixie's Shamanism 101 class was a wonderful experience for me. She brought together various experts so we got to hear different perspectives on so many new things that were eye-opening and beautiful. Everything was so fascinating, and I am so glad I got to delve into this magical world of shamanism. Many of you will watch this video and think this sounds like a great idea and that all this information is good and all, but information alone will not make you a healer and a shamanic light worker. You'll get caught up in your day-to-day lives and forget to implement these techniques. Do you think that with the support system and more training that you would be able to become that beacon of light that changes the world and moves you and the planet into the next level of our evolution? Wouldn't that be amazing? So for ongoing support, I created bonus number 2. Ongoing support through Facebook, where you'll get support and feedback from me and other future teachers, as well as support from fellow students. Wouldn't it be fun to be a part of a shamanic group of healers from around the world? And for extra support, you'll get bonus number 3. 3 one-on-one sessions with me. Yay! This is for the next 30 people who sign up. That means that you get to set up an appointment with me 3 times throughout the course when you feel like you need a little extra support. Awesome! Karel says, I have felt incredible love and healing when Rixie worked with me one-on-one. I loved the messages she gave me from the divine, and I read the messages all the time. Super awesome. So how much do you think all of this is worth? My business coach says I should be charging $6,000 for this, but don't worry, I'm not going to charge that. I had 2 choices. Option 1, I could go as cheap as possible and sell this to tons of people and everyone would have access to it, which I'm already kind of doing with this free mini course. But the problem with that is I don't have the time and energy to really serve you. So instead of selling tons of people, what I decided to do is help you. Because I wanted to give you more individual attention, I decided to charge more. That way, it justifies me having to spend more time and more effort. I'm guessing for most of you guys, you'd rather have a little more effort from me, right? But I did find a way that everyone can afford it by having the option to make monthly payment. What if I told you you could get started for just $97 a month? That would be doable, right? And for those of you who like to save money and pay up front, instead of charging $6,000 like my business coach suggested, you'll only have to pay $997. If you choose to pay monthly, you'll pay 11 months, which is $97 more than you would pay if you pay up front. And for those of you who pay in full up front, you will get bonus number 4, personalized and blessed shaman kit items. To add to your shaman kit, items that go in your shaman kit are extra special when someone gives them to you. It could be a pipe, a medicine bag made of buffalo hide, or an instrument. Whatever it is, it'll be a total surprise. And I'll also add a patch of salt from the Great Salt Lake that I harvest myself and who is connected to the spirit of the lake who calls herself Nomi. She is a very powerful protector. Believe me, she's saved my life a few times. Wouldn't it be magical to receive a package with your surprise shaman kit item chosen and blessed just for you? I don't know about you, but I love receiving surprise packages in the mail. For those of you who are ready to develop your shamanic superpowers and take that leap of faith, click on the link below to get started. Now remember, I promised if you've watched this video to the end, you would get my step-by-step cheat sheet for healing streams, rivers, lands, and mountains. So click the gift button below. Recap everything you're going to learn. Number 1, you'll learn how to go on shamanic journeys to receive guidance. Number 2, to protect yourself and home from negative energy and negative entities. 3, you'll put together a shaman kit bundle. 4, tune into your third eye and see messages. Number 5, tools for communicating with nature and the spirit world. Number 6, you'll learn ceremonies. Number 7, songs I use for my ceremonies. And number 8, 10% will go to help with indigenous alcoholism. Number 9, 90% will go back to heal the earth. Number 10, you'll receive a certificate.